In this video, we're walking through how deliverability actually works inside of Omnisend, specifically SPF, DKIM, DMARC, and the habits that help your emails land in the inbox instead of spam. This part gets ignored way too often, and the problem is you can have great emails, great offers, great automations, and if this setup isn't right, none of it matters. This video is especially important if you're setting up Omnisend for the first time, switching from another email platform, or planning to send more email and SMS than you have before. I'm Erin from SaaS Report. Let's get into it. All right, so starting right here on Omnisend's homepage, and what I want you to notice immediately is how Omnisend positions itself as email and SMS that are reliable, automated, and designed to run quietly in the background. That reliability isn't accidental. Platforms like Omnisend put a lot of emphasis on sending reputation because inbox placement is treated as part of the product, not something tacked on later. This matters because deliverability isn't just a technical step you check off once, it's built into how the platform expects you to send from day one. This is also why it's best to think about deliverability before you send your first real campaign, not after something goes wrong. So as we scroll down, you'll see Omnisend showing email and SMS working together inside of a single flow. This is important for deliverability because inbox providers reward predictable, behavior-based sending. So instead of sending messages randomly, Omnisend is built around reacting to actions, like when someone opens an email or abandons a cart. That kind of sending pattern signals trust to inbox providers, and over time, a stronger engagement leads to better inbox placement. So here's a good example of that approach in action. This is a pre-built abandoned cart automation where email goes out first and SMS follows only if there's no response. From a deliverability standpoint, the setup works well because messages are triggered by real user behavior, so sending volume is controlled automatically and engagement stays higher. Inbox providers want to see emails that people open, click, and interact with, and this type of flow supports that naturally. This kind of gradual behavior-based sending is also part of what people mean when they talk about warming up a domain. Now we're in the segmentation section, and this is another quiet deliverability booster. Sending to segmented audiences means fewer ignored messages, fewer spam complaints, and stronger engagement overall. Omnisend built segmentation around shopping behavior, activity, and timing, which keeps your sending relevant. Relevance is one of the strongest long-term signals inbox providers use when deciding where your emails land. Next, let's look at integrations. Omnisend connects directly to e-commerce platforms like Shopify. We got WooCommerce, BigCommerce, and others. This matters because clean data displays a big role in deliverability. When purchase events, customer actions, and engagement data are synced properly, your automations stay accurate. Inaccurate or broken data can lead to mistimed or irrelevant messages, which is one of the fastest ways to hurt inbox placement. Tight integrations help prevent that. So this section is especially important if you're switching platforms. One of the biggest deliverability mistakes people make is breaking their sending setup during a migration. Omnisend clearly emphasizes easy migration, proper data syncing, and access to expert support that reduces the risk of sending from misconfigured domains or incomplete setups, both of which can damage inbox placement very quickly. This is also where a lot of issues start if people rush through setup or skip verification steps. Now, this is one of the most important screens in this video. This is Omnisend's official guide for SPF, DKIM, and DMARC, and these three things work together to prove that your emails are real. So SPF stands for Sender Policy Framework. So this tells inbox providers which servers are allowed to send email on behalf of your domain. If an email is sent from a server that isn't listed, inbox providers will see that as a red flag. DKIM stands for Domain Keys Identified Mail. This adds a digital signature to every email that you send. Inbox providers use that signature to confirm the message wasn't changed while it was being delivered. And DMARC stands for Domain-Based Message Authentication, Reporting, and Conformance. This one ties everything together. It tells inbox providers what to do if an email fails SPF or DKIM, and it gives you reports so you can see if something is wrong. When all three are set up correctly, inbox providers can clearly see that your emails are coming from an approved source and haven't been tampered with. What makes this easier is that Omnisend provides the exact records you need and walks you through where to add them at your domain domain provider. You're following a clear setup instead of guessing or copying settings from somewhere else. This setup should be completed before you send any high volume campaigns. I want to pause for a second because this is where a lot of people misunderstand deliverability. Most inbox problems don't happen because your emails are bad. They happen because inbox providers don't know if they should trust you just yet. Think about it from their perspective. Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, they're protecting their users. So every time you send an email, they're quietly asking a few questions. Who is the sender? Have they sent before? Do people usually open their emails? Do people ignore them? Do people complain? SPF, DKIM, and DMARC answers the first question. Who are you and are you allowed to send? And your sending habits answer the rest. That's why you can't just turn on email and expect it to work. Trust is built over time through consistency and behavior, and once you understand that, deliverability stops feeling mysterious and starts feeling manageable. This is also why platforms like Omnisend push automations, segmentation, and gradual sending so hard. They're designed to help you build that trust without having to micromanage every single email. So if you're watching this and you're thinking, I've sent emails before and they worked fine, that's great, but as soon as you scale, switch platforms, or increase your volume, this stuff starts to matter a lot more. That's the difference between emails that quietly keep working in the background and emails that suddenly stop landing where you expect. As you scroll through the guide, you'll see SPF, DKIM, and DMARC each broken out into their own sections. So each section explains what the record does and how to verify that it's working. Inbox providers rely on these checks before they decide where your emails land. When these records are in place, your emails are much more likely to be trusted. Without them, inbox providers have very little proof that your emails are legitimate, which can cause inbox placement problems even if your content is solid. After the technical setup, sending behavior still matters. Inbox providers look for consistency instead of sudden spikes. They expect you to start with lower volume and increase gradually. They also pay attention to how people interact with your emails, like opening, clicking, or ignoring them. Sending repeatedly to people who never engage can hurt your reputation over time. This part is on you, not the platform. Omnisend supports this type of sending, but list quality and engagement are still your responsibility. Omnisend supports this kind of sending naturally because most messages are triggered by customer actions instead of being sent all at once, and that makes it easier to build and maintain a strong sending reputation as your list grows. Now let's go over Omnisend pricing. Omnisend pricing is based on how many contacts you have. You choose your list size and the price adjusts from there. You're not unlocking features at higher tiers. Automation, segmentations, templates, integrations, and deliverability tools are included across plans. What changes is how much volume you're sending, especially if you add SMS. The standard plan is built for smaller lists and email-first stores. The Pro plan is designed for that higher volume and more serious SMS usage. And for larger senders, they have custom pricing. So the point is that you don't have to overpay just to use the platform correctly. You scale when your list and sending volumes actually scale. And the best part is if you sign up through Charlie's link, you get 30% off your first 3 months with the code CharlieChang30. That gives you room to set up authentication, run real campaigns, and increase volume without paying full price right away. I went ahead and linked Omnisend below with that discount applied, so you can check pricing based on your list size and decide if it fits. So that's how deliverability works inside of Omnisend, from SPF and DKIM to DMARC and everyday sending habits that affect inbox placement. Once these pieces are set up correctly, your emails have a much better chance of landing where they're supposed to instead of getting filtered out. If you want to walk through these settings yourself, I've linked Omnisend below so you can follow along inside of your own account. I'm Erin from SaaS Report. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.